Today is Sunday, May 19th, and I'm here in Fort Myers Beach, Florida. It's a little after 11. Preparations. One thing I didn't do is tighten the brakes again as usual. I keep on forgetting to do that. But the tires are inflated. Got my right shoes, my sunglasses, my hat, sunblock, my water. It is a hot one out there. These solar flares are really causing it to be excruciatingly hot when you're in the direct sunlight. There is a layer I can see here, very, very high cumulus, looks like low stratosphere clouds, so that's helping out a little bit. But this morning it did a little rain, a tiny bit, but not much. Anyway, I have to hydrate before the bicycle ride because it's hot. So usually I don't hydrate until after it because when you hydrate before, then you tend to sweat profusely during the bicycle ride, and it makes it even hotter. If you drink before, it's better to just forego and let your body burn the fat and make water that way. And I gotta tighten my belt here. So I'm losing weight. Losing water weight. All right. So let's see. There's nothing really special today. There's no happenings that I know of that's going on. I bought a bicycle yesterday from a garage sale, and I think I'm going to use that bicycle. I'm not sure. I got it for $20. The attribute is it's a man-sized bicycle, and it's not breaking. This bicycle hasn't broken yet. This bicycle fits a little more easier in my car, and I'm comfortable riding this bike at the moment. So breaking in a new bike is going to be that much more problematic. So I like what I know. So the traffic is pretty light coming into the beach. There is a slight breeze. I'm trying to determine what direction it's coming from. It looks like it's coming from west to east. You see the flag there flying. This flag is straight ahead of me. This is hardly flying. So garage selling was totally awesome yesterday. I spent $54. $20 was the bike. They offered $30, but the chain was kind of rusty. It was missing the front guardrail on the gear sprocket. I think what else did I do? The back V-brake had a problem. Front disc brake was okay. It was not a hydraulic brake. It had a nice racing seat on it. That was like, I might take this bicycle seat off, put that one on, so this bike goes kaput. That bike seat looked really nice. That was really it. So I said for $20, I might be able to, I can sell it for 30 or 40, that's for sure, but I might be able to take some pieces off mine, either rebuild that one with my bike and then keep that bike, or take the pieces off that bike and swap them with mine and keep my bike. But the pedal gears go. Right now the pedals don't give me a problem. Weird. I can't explain that. That's the problem with drinking all that water. I have like an extra 5 pounds to deal with. Man, I won't perspire off that 5 pounds for at least 5 miles. doesn't help getting over this bridge. It's 5 extra pounds of weight. Let's see, the water looks high tide-ish. That's no good. I don't know why, but I seem to be coming here at high tide. Snug Harbor, it's not that crowded. There's about maybe 20 people there. And again, it's 11 o'clock. A lot of these places just open. Slowly. Alright. Nervous Nellies. They don't even look open yet, but they got the top deck looking really nice. So they have a ground floor and a top deck. So they're a huge restaurant. The problem is they got no parking. So that's the big drawback there. A big restaurant, they can handle like 300 people. I see that there's about maybe 8 customers in Nervous Nellies. Yahoo Willie's. They're always crowded. There's about 40 people in there right now. Well, it's exceptionally slow right now. Usually by this time, there's tons of cars coming into the beach. So this just shows you this is the dead season. That's normally how it is. May, June, also September, October. And September, October is more dead than these months. And that's like right after Labor Day, it just dies. It's like the economy here falls off a cliff. So I'm looking at Yucatan. Yucatan's hardly got anybody in there, maybe 10 people. You see the parking lots here? They're on half empty, a little more than half empty. Mr. Waves Island Bar. That was an awesome idea. There used to be a surf shop, and they converted it to a restaurant. Smart. There was not enough restaurants here. See, the closer you are to this area, with a couple free parking spots, it helps out. Again, they put up a speaker to do the dongs for the Fort Myers Beach clock. It's kind of weird. Okay, I'm looking at the flag here. Stop blowing it off. So the flag inland at about 50 plus feet high, it was flying pretty steadily. I'd say at about a 15 mile per hour clip. On top of the bridge, I felt just a bare wind. But here at the beach, I'm feeling some right now at ground level. So it's sporadic. Usually when there's wind, there's clouds around. I'm looking up, I don't see any. When I say clouds, I mean cumulus clouds. I don't see any. I see extremely high cumulus bordering on stratosphere clouds. That wouldn't bring wind. See, this flag here, this open flag, is flying. There's nobody here. So it's dead. So this Bel Air Beach Club, they're open finally. That's good. Here's Edgewater Inn condos on the right-hand side. They're open. So real estate companies need to get these names of these places and sub-rent them for them, because real estate companies need to redevelop their business. It was wiped out too for the hurricane. The best way of doing it is getting a rental business up and running. You're going to learn a lot about the owners of these places, because they've changed hands. So all your old contacts are pretty much done. Here, Best Western Inn Plus. I don't know what's going on here, but the gate's open. If you're a worker, if you could live in here and work, that's pretty sweet.
lot of looks like this coastal vacations. They're doing a pretty good job of cornering the market. Lots of for sale signs. And of course, all these new places have pools. So we have places like this pool. Ah, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, it's an exceptionally high tide. I'm looking at the water right now in the canal there, exceptionally high. So this could be a street bike link. I couldn't come out yesterday because a couple things. I had to fix a tire on my car. Ended up to be 2 tires, but I got 2 nice tires. I put them on the front of my car. Took out the bad tire in the back and rotated the one from the front to the back. So my car's riding a lot better. And hopefully, I need a front alignment too. That's another $100 down the road. I don't know if I can squeeze it in next week or not. Didn't have time today. No place for $100 is open today. The $400 alignments, they're open today, but I'm not going to pay that. Must be a mail truck. Let's see. Yep. Property Medic are doing really good. So again, this place here on the left-hand side, anything that's closed, man, it's into foreclosure. Excellent real estate too. Big Shell would be smart to snap up these places. Snap them up. See, a lot of people are speculating, and they're finding that speculation. There is a wall. There's a ceiling. There is a limit to how much you can flip. And it's more like a hot potato. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, and then you're the hot potato. Next thing you know, you gotta take a loss. A lot of these people that are flipping, they have the money to lose. You know, these people have tens of millions of dollars. A lot of them are in their 70s, 80s. To them, this is their video game. You know, it's all numbers. Shell's looking pretty good. It's not that crowded, but they're probably charging about $600 a night here. What they need is to put a connecting elevated tunnel between every building here, and put a lazy river around the entire property. That's what I would do if I was Big Shell. I'd put an elevated connecting in front of the place too to make more covered parking, and put shops in there too. Why not? Elevate it to 20 some feet just in case, you know, for the next flood, so you're higher than the flood. And so it's air conditioned. It's also protected from rain, and it has some shops in there so you can do additional shopping. That's, you know, that's kind of what's lacking here. And even have some not necessarily a cantina, but some kind of, you know, general store to offer food and stuff, like at 7-Eleven prices, of course. That keeps the money on premises and makes it. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the water here. It's really high. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to walk it, unfortunately. My shoe's full of sand. Oh wow! The first step, I got sand in my shoe. I didn't think that was possible. I got not only sand, I got seashell. Unbelievable. I'm trying to high step and not get sand in my shoe. Yeah. Gorgeous out there. Humidity is a little high. I'd say humidity somewhere between 60 and 70%. Tents are getting bigger. Look at this canopy in front of me. It's nice. See, the problem is down here is that the bathrooms are all cordoned off. So even though there's parking down here, it's still $5 an hour, and there's only porta potties, unair conditioned. Lynn Hall Park is at the air conditioned ones, so if you're gonna pay $5 an hour. Now, if you go down to Mid Island, where the old
Mid-Island Cleaners and Car Wash used to be. There is some free parking in that area. Not that there's any bathrooms, but you're close to Publix, and a little farther south of that is CVS and a 7-Eleven. So yeah, this is like extremely high tide right now. The surf looks like it's 1 to 2 on shore. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be bicycling on the mud flat here. Not good. Looks gorgeous though. Even if it's a little hazy, a lot of humidity. It's awesome. Sweet. The waves look nice. So it definitely is a western to easterly wind flow for these type of waves. I have a downshift. Okay. All right, that's it's pretty muddy here. I'm sinking in about an inch. So it's only because my tires are inflated nicely. So hopefully the tide will be going out. It's hard to say. I think the tide was a little higher, maybe about a half hour earlier, because the seaweed is starting to be pulled back, which is a sign the tide is heading out, but it's hard to tell. Reserved for I-do's. Oh, see, weddings. Okay, this beach is really nice and fun. There's a lot of people here. Okay, this is a danger zone here. But fantastic. That was fantastic, actually. Oh, yeah, this area is still maximum high tide, and just off the surf is an extremely soft pocket of white sand. I'm gonna try to bicycle between the soft pocket of white sand and the soft muddy beach. Wow. So it's amazing that the parasailers, they're about a mile offshore. The water's not too deep out there. It's about 16 feet deep, maybe, most. High tide here, maybe 18 feet. But there's a lot of coral, seashells, crabs, habitat on the seafloor there. So you definitely want to have a surf walk, because something will be pecking at your toes if you don't.
We see that when there's a big storm, it takes whatever is a couple hundred yards offshore and pushes it into the gap between the sandbars and the beach. And you can see what kind of mollusks and jellyfish and shells of every single magnitude. Yep, that's what's out there. This Gulf continental shelf is just laden as a marine habitat. And that methyl chloride that they dumped in Pennsylvania, Ohio, that went down the Ohio River to the Mississippi into the Gulf, killed probably 1 billion fish. Someone needs to be held accountable for that. Only the fish spawning inland waters got away from that. Lots of pen shells up there. Yeah, I can see coming up there is a the bicycling beach ends. So this right here is the only area where there's like no mud, and this area will change in the beach. See, I see it already. It's getting narrower and narrower. So whoever put this dune up here, my God, it's being worn away. The tide is encroaching. It's going to take it all. Because Hurricane Ian took all the sand from offshore, dumped it onshore. And now the sea is resettling, and it wants some of this sand back. So it all depends. If Ian came from the other direction, it may have taken sand and piled it offshore, and then the sea would have resettled and tried to push some back onshore. Let's see. Oh, it's getting to the point where I can't even bicycle. Sad. My tires are caking up with sand too. I hate to walk down the beach like this. We're gonna have to bail. It's too high tide. Unfortunately, that's how it is. I can go backwards or I can go this way. They always say you should never look backwards. Always go forwards, or else you're just wasting time. This looks like snow, like when it snows in the wintertime, the sand. When you get that frozen rain, just solidifies the top layer of snow. But still, if you walk across the snow, it'll crack like this, make these type of indentations. Yes, I used to live up north in a cold environment. Boy, first 21 years of my life, terrible. What a waste. And I had an opportunity at year 18 to move down here, and I was promised a job at AT&T and for a good pay if I got a degree. So came to University of South Florida in Tampa, got the degree, went back up to AT&T. The same lunatics who promised me a job were the ones destroying the company, and AT&T went bankrupt and officially dodo in 1989. And thank goodness there was a company, Bell South, that did a reverse merger, took them over, midnight reverse merger in 1989, assumed all their debt. They didn't have to do that, but that nice Texas-based company, whoever was running AT&T was a lunatic. Inside AT&T, they praised them like a god, and they were mentoring, trying to find a replacement. Anytime you hear people saying we're trying to find a replacement, that means they're trying to find a fluky who they can put in their shoes and they can praise like God, but the person's a fluky and is going to fail miserably, and they're just stealing and robbing from the company. They do it at universities. They find deans or teachers, department heads. All they're doing is finding, and sorry to say, Democrats that are going to fail upwards. And they rob, cheat, steal. The kids become dumber to justify more education. And if you graduate people, stupid out of a school, then those people are going to have to go back for more school. And unfortunately, they don't realize it. They should. That a lot of these public institutions are teaching them to become stupid. I'm going to stop talking about that. Sadly, that's the truth. I'm not going to retract any of that. My first-hand knowledge, I went to a garage sale in North Cape Coral. Some PhD was trying to convince everyone that all the oxygen on the planet Earth came from mosquitoes, and photosynthesis was irrelevant. I'm looking at the guy like the guy's a loser. The guy's, for one, having a garage sale. It's a divorce garage sale. He lost his job at mosquito control, again, because he was probably spewing that BS. And, obviously, if you lose your job at mosquito control, that's usually, people, again, the people who fail upwards, they don't realize they failed as high as all their other criminal friends will fail them up to. But if you want a job in the real world, well, you can't be a criminal, and there's no more failing upwards. So then that's when those Democrats get divorced. They're confused. They have to question their lives, and they start committing suicide. They start killing people, and they start becoming berserkers. And yeah, they should be locked up because they're criminals anyway. Let's see. I'm trying to see what has changed here. There's a lot of tools being added to this property here on the left-hand side. And I like those Bobcats. I'd like they're $60,000 each. I'm going to start buying some of them. My new house has got tons of property in the backyard to park those things. And, I love those. That's going to be my new toys. Those big Bobcats, those $60,000 Bobcats and backhoes and everything else. More action back here than the beach. See that ice cream place straight ahead? I used to own the restaurant that was in that location in 1989. It was called the Lighthouse Sandwich Shop. I made okay money during operation. I had a partner that was untrustworthy, but it got affected severely, that location in 1987, Hurricane Keith. Okay, that's the Otaco making all that noise, so they have no customers. And there's Buffalo Grill next door to them. They're offering a chili dog, a stinger, fingers, chicken wings. They got this place. And see, now you have the Hershey's ice cream is open, but there's nobody around. Okay, this place here has like 6 people, customers. It's dead. And these other people are looking where to eat. Here's Margaritaville. I'm surprised people don't park right here. This looks like a good parking spot. So on my way back up, we'll go all the way down to the Wind Resort since we're on the road. And I'll try to go high speed on the bike. And on the way back, we'll I don't see anything different with this bike route. We'll try to come back on the beach. We'll see what happens. Oh wow, someone is on a skateboard in a bikini, and she's being towed behind a car. Wow, that's a sight to see. So, stay tuned. They're turning this way. It's a green Honda Pilot, and she's on a skateboard with a bikini. It's gonna look pretty impressive. So, Margaritaville Pool is crowded, but not as crowded as it normally is. But then again, it's still only about 11:30. Again, the water looks gorgeous. I mean, I feel like just going in there, not only lounging in the water, drinking it. Give me some ice cubes. I'll throw ice cubes in the water too. Jump in. Oh man. And I'll have a daiquiri. Nice tall glass daiquiri, and a nice crisp lemon slice. Right, hold on. Watch the Honda Pilot, the green one coming up. It's gonna pass us with a girl on the back. Here she, okay, they just made the light. She's turning. Let's see if they come this way. That will be a sight to see. Especially it's only a 20-mile-per-hour zone in this area. Oh yeah, she's behind there. She's a swim bikini too. There's a girl in a bikini on a car. Watch. Oh shit, I almost crashed. Almost. There we go. See that? Wow. That is very risque. Because she doesn't know if there's going to be a drain or a water meter or anything else, which this road is dangerous. So she must either know the roads, and I think I know this person where she works. She works down at the church down here, helping out. And yeah, it's salt life. You don't see that every day, that's for sure. Especially on a skateboard going 30 miles an hour. She's surfing it. Alright, so $20 a day parking. There's hardly anybody here. So we just have one porta potty here. So charge $20 a day for parking. You know, and a porta potty, you can burn easy $20 in toilet paper every single day. So I don't like it. I don't like that as a business. I would prefer selling ice cream. So if it's $7, $8 in ice cream, give them a nice generous portion and maybe sell drinks for $2. Lots of ice. People love that. See how Sun and Fun's doing. We're coming up to the sidewalk that I don't like bicycling down. Sun and Fun, they're loaded. This guy here, I think, is the owner. But you know what? If you're a real estate person and you need to take a lot of clients around, you know what? This Sun and Fun is the place to go. If you can get that for $99 or less per day, you know, and you could take that on the sidewalk and avoid some of the traffic during season. That's the key, if it's available. Then you know what? That's actually a good business alternative, because they can park at your site and show them a whole bunch of places going down the sidewalk, which is usually open during season. Usually this road is backed up in both directions, especially trying to leave the island. It's backed up well past the old junk road. Surf song. See, in Santa Claus, Song of the Sea, we hear a surf song. So we just passed the old Armando's daycare on the left that used to be there. And then coming up on the left, right near is Del Mar Ave, used to be the old Shamrock. It's gone. And again, this Neptune Inn on the right-hand side, this yellow hotel, this is the best investment hotel-wise on the entire beach. Even better than the Best Western Plus. That's on the north side. This here, because there's more hotel room. The Best Western Plus would be like a good casino. And then that little strip mall over there, that is a fantastic buy. Because you can put solar panels on the roof and mount your air conditioning on the roof. Of course, it's protected out of the way. It's pretty safe too when it comes to, before the hurricane, Fort Myers Beach had maybe about 2,000 bums living here. The hurricane washed all 2,000 bums away. Now, I'm not saying all the bums are gone. There's probably less than 50 left here, but it's a big, significant drop in bums. Like there's a house over there with a ladder. I know a bum lives in there. This real estate office, Keller Williams Realty, they did a fantastic deal. See, I love these Bobcats on the right-hand side, but they're $60,000 each. Not or best offer. $60,000 firm. A
just sitting here for sale. Which is pretty sad. And if they're sitting here for sale, that means this property's for sale too. Right on the right-hand side used to be a nice, quaint little building here. I loved it. My grandmother, this is back in the mid to late 80s. She always wanted to buy that and live in it. And, it would have been good for her because it wasn't knocked down until 2022, Hurricane Ian. So my grandmother lived till 98, so she would have had at least a decade of enjoyment in that. She would have enjoyed beach life. The thing about beach life, I have to admit, is that you don't realize how oppressive the sun is. I come to the beach once a week, and I put tons of sunblock on. I'm only out for about an hour and a half, and I'm telling you, I'm done. When I was a youth, I could be on the beach all day with no sunblock, and I would be literally, I would turn purple. It was so, I got so much sun, and I had so much sunburn. That was unhealthy. You can only get enough sun if your liver and kidney is functioning perfectly. If it's not, forget it. You get that much sun, you'll get cancer. Because believe it or not, your liver and kidney is the one that helps clean your blood and gets that cancerous stuff out. So if you don't have a properly functioning, if your kidney or liver is impacted, and drinking coffee or eating chocolate, that's going to hurt your body big time. Shouldn't do it. Again, the library, this would make a great casino. There's no school right now on the island, so there's no church behind this. This casino has parking. I would do away with the tolls. I would, if that casino were to get going, I would buy the church behind it and make a parking garage, and I would keep on going. I'd buy this shopping center, make it a parking garage. I'm telling you, I would be redeveloping the entire island here. This building here looks like they're finally getting wise. I realize that, they're doing a demolition. They're not, I don't know what's with these people. If they want to save the building, you got to save the roof first. The roof has to get done first. And then you can mess around with the landscaping. They're like doing more demo of the landscaping. I don't understand it. Rainy season, we've already had some rainstorms. This morning was a light dusting around. Every little drop of moisture gets in that attic, makes there's a lot of wind-blown stuff in this area. You get a little bit of moisture, a little wind-blown sand and soil. Bingo, you got something growing up there now. But this place here not open, it's just ridiculous. That's an awesome place to rent or own. And the sad thing is that all these mobile home manufacturers' homes here at the Red Coconut Fort Myers Beach RV Park, there was at least 300 units here, and each unit had at least 2 people in it, if not 3. So that's 1,000 less people that are on the island. 1,000 less people that are consuming services, eating. 1,000 less potential vehicles, cars, bicycles. Sad. So you come up on the left-hand side, it's the old fire station. I would like that, but I would have to. It's got that big slope going up there. It's got a loading bay too. What's all that about? I'll have to chisel all that away. I don't need a loading bay. I need parking spots. And then this Gulf West wind. Putting sliding doors on the ground floor. I guess they're going to make it so that you enter from an interior hallway. This person here on the left-hand side, they were trying to build their home from scratch, but it looks like they gave up and now they're contracting. It almost looks like they're doing it themselves, though. But those pilings are not driven into the ground. They put a concrete foundation, and those posts are just bolted onto this concrete foundation. Interesting. The bottom line is that is not strong. So you may get away with building a house there, but the next hurricane that comes, the force of a 9-foot wave will snap steel. It will snap a 1/4-inch steel. A 9-inch wave. Excuse me, a 9-foot wave. And when you have a 15-foot current flowing at 15 miles an hour, that's enough force just to bend that steel and crack it. And, when you have a storm pushing a boat up against that, up against your pilings, and all it is an aluminum flashing, bolted, forget it. Forget it. That thing will snap instantly. Okay, so the person that was riding a skateboard in the bikini, I'm pretty sure she lives over here in that RV right behind this tent where this church is. I mean, if I saw the Honda Pilot green, then it would be confirmation. But the nice thing is that I'd like to see that they're having a service here. So it's going to take quite a few services to make the money to build the church again. It's pretty sad they had to knock it down. I mean, it looked like that church could have survived, but again, they didn't fix the roof. The roof comes first. So when you don't fix the roof, and the roof is compromised, that compromises everything under the roof. And then forget it. Whatever you did inside is for naught. This person is building a fortress here. I thought it was going to be a little house. Everything is reinforced concrete block. Poured concrete with steel rebar inside of it. Nice. From the ground floor, the first floor is already concrete, and they're making the second floor solid concrete, and the floors are solid concrete. That's the way to do a house. Like this church here, it looks like they did do the roof, thank God. They did aluminum, smart. They tore down one building, which is sad, but it's a smaller congregation, so they don't need a bigger building. That way they can focus the repairs on one building. And that's the thing, once you build up your congregation, you can build another building. But they should buy this property right next to them right now. You should at least take a lease option. Every business here, every what's called big whale, who's still afloat and they're operating, needs to expand a little bit. This is the time to do it. Prices are high, but you're not gonna find all the properties for sale like this at the same time. The water, right now at this angle, I'm seeing it beautiful limestone green. It is gorgeous. So this guy is formed his own contracting, and he had wooden posts, but he put some concrete. Anyway, he what's that concrete stuff called? Stucco. Yep. He put concrete stucco on the outside of the posts, and he smoothed that down. That looks like concrete posts now. So it's deceiving, though. To sell your house, you could claim it's a concrete post because but it's masking a wooden post underneath. It'll protect the wood, but it's only as strong as the wooden post. And believe it or not, the concrete will weaken the wood. Steel or aluminum, you can put concrete inside that. That will amplify the strength of that material. But wood, no. You pour concrete inside wood. I don't know. Unless you put the rebar in with the concrete, wood will absorb water, and I don't know. It's not going to be good. So far, my bicycle is not showing signs of falling apart, which is a good thing because I'm not even at halfway point. I'm not even halfway point to Quinn's Resort. We're just up at the Publix. But that beach is gorgeous. I mean, that limestone green is beautiful. This White Caps beach condos.
They were never affected by the storm. They were open the first day. So if you want to buy something, I would highly recommend that. You're close to Publix. There's porta potties. And of course, if you live right there, even better. Right now, there's an unobstructed view right to the water because the buildings and the trees that were in front of your building were totally wiped out. See, there's a lot of equipment for rental. There's still a lot of construction. I'm seeing a lot of buildings still, which is a good sign that people are doing. But then I see a building over there that's the roof is collapsing. Someone's living in it, but you gotta fix the roof first. You just can't live in a building with a roof completely disgusting. Like here, someone bought this property, but I see no evidence of repairs ongoing to the roof. Looks like they're living in like a back room, and they have their boat parked back there. Here, this property on the left-hand side, I wanted to buy this and build it into a real estate office / pickleball, maybe with even bike rental and ice cream store. Still would like to. That's the only free parking right there, though. That parking spot right there. That's the only free parking you have. And there's a porta potty. The problem is, I don't know if there's a walking easement on the right-hand side. And this condo here is all fenced off. Again, they're 2 years late. This should have been done a year ago. And every delay, rainy season is really, it could erupt any day, any moment now. When you have high humidity, bingo, it could erupt that day. Normally to get rain, you have to have what's called energy in the atmosphere. So this morning there was some energy. But the energy only affected really Fort Myers. It didn't affect the beach, which is a good sign because that just means that, like, there was some midnight clouds that came from the Everglades, again, which is a sign that there is some developing rainy season pattern. When you have that convection coming from the Everglades and the energy is pushing to the coast, it's creating this dusk to dawn conveyor of energy, and then the conveyor turns around from dawn to noon, and then you're going to have the noon to 5 p.m. conveyor, and then you're going to have the evening conveyor. So there's a whole bunch of different conveyors. They create convection zones, and where the convection zones meet, they usually push upwards and create clouds. So, and then clouds, when they get to a certain state, they can't hold enough water, they start raining. That creates wind patterns, and the wind patterns then take over. They take over. They obviously go to whatever is lower pressure, and they'll push the cloud into that direction. Here's another free parking spot right here. This is what I'm talking about. There was a beautiful hotel here. So, but mark my words, in about 2 months, criminal Fort Myers Beach is going to start putting toll things there. So people park here, which I like. There needs to be a 7-Eleven right here. This is where on the left-hand side where the 24-hour laundromat and car wash used to be. Unfortunately, it's not here no more. And with 5,000 to 6,000 people less living here on the island because their homes or condos were destroyed, there's not that much demand. And again, this generation coming online, these millennials have absolutely no money. And that's even scarier because to come to the beach, they have to bring 20 people and all chip in to rent on the beach, and that's like a nightmare combination. It's like a fraternity coming to the beach. Yeah, those people are cheap and they don't really add to they kind of hurt the economy where they come in. The one person renting probably has to, the rent is going to be paid for in damage. They're going to overuse the water, electricity, and it's going to be terrible. Even if they keep the security deposit, it won't pay for it. That's the new generation. They just don't want to work. They don't want to, like me, I used to work 80 to 100 hours a week. I don't know how I did it, but I did it every single week. From age like 16 to like 20 something, I worked almost 100 hours a week. I couldn't believe it. I'm almost 60 now. I'm tired. I'm tired, and I still work at a day job. You know, I have to count the commute time in too. So that's almost 9-10 hours a day. You know, 5 days. That's 50 hours right there. I gotta count that commute time in. Up north, I didn't count the commute time in. I worked harder. And I should have, but down here I am. It's a pain to get to work down here. Up there, the lights would either be synchronized or they wouldn't have lights. They just have, you know, one freeway and one stop sign. Here, they all have to have four-way stops for some stupid reason. So, yeah, it's horrible. I like how it looks like they're using a lot of these electric-powered golf carts to provision a lot of the stores in this area. So there must be one single warehouse that they deliver to. So they probably get in and off the island fast, and then they use the golf carts to do provisioning to the different stores and final destinations. It probably is a lot more accommodating, and they could probably do it spur of the moment. So if it's on-demand ordering, where they don't want to order it at like 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe the business doesn't open until noon. That way they can still do deliveries, but with an open air, smaller quantities, and with a golf cart, they can get around traffic by going on the sidewalk. So it's kind of smart. It's a smart idea. All right, so we're coming up to passing this for sale business that they wanted just way too much money for. I'm looking at it. It looks like still way too much work for a real estate office. I like the 7-Eleven here though. That'd be a nice real estate office. I like the concrete construction. I like the parking lot. But this will definitely open as a 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven has done too much improvements here. That will definitely reopen. Look, for sale by owner. This London Bay development. There's a for sale sign there. Extreme demolition. Land clearing. Wow. So. Again, if you've got $100 million, see this property over here on the right-hand side? I took a look at this property. Not that it's still not interested in it. For a real estate office, I'm still kind of interested in it, but there's a lot of work to be done. We're not going to go farther than this. Actually, wait. I guess Wind Resort is a little further, so we will go a little further. So straight ahead, there was the rental office. And then over here, there used to be a car rental office. There's no bathroom there. So you'd have to make that, the new regulations require you to have a bathroom. So that could be a little like, I don't know, car rentals doesn't seem to work on the island. But that could be a real estate office. And it could be like a little grocery provisioning place. There's just not, I don't know, you'd have to sell hype. I'm trying to think, The problem is that crime will hunt out soft areas like that. And even if you have surveillance and you have a police car there, you're still going to have, like either a liquor store. See, that's the hard thing. In this area, people want liquor. They want food. You're close to 7-Eleven coming up. Then there's also the CVS, which has some food. So even though the CVS sells it for twice the price of Publix, you still get your basic amenities. You can get your soda, you can get some beer in there. Oh my God! You see these tennis courts on the left-hand side? Again, I can make that into a food truck court with parking. I mean, you want to keep the business idea cheap, but it's on water. Would they sell it to me? No, not for the price I want. Again, they would make a good restaurant. You really need a nice big restaurant in this area. So the Charlie Browns that went out of business, it's sad. So I like this end of the island because the bicycle paths are so large, but you don't need a bicycle path or a sidewalk this large. It'd be better off if they made a divided highway with turning lanes. So a 2-lane divided highway. But this is the type of asphalt road that's needed on all of Fort Myers Beach. In fact, this was the original road design. And the south end of the island here said, no way, Jose, if you don't go with our design, we're going to separate from Fort Myers Beach. And Fort Myers Beach relented. But South Fort Myers Beach here, they should have broken away because the Fort Myers Beach government doesn't do anything to help anyone out. Anyone out. Even the south side doesn't help anybody, the north side helps no one. They just help themselves out. They're criminals. All right, so we'll make the turn down here by the subway. Going to the beach here, but I don't know. I'm very leery about having to bicycle through hard beach. Plus, I'll be fighting a slight headwind. So again, the Wyndham Garden, which used to be the Holiday Inn. And this Holiday Inn had that traditional Holiday Inn sign for the longest while here out by the curb. And that's what I loved about it. It had that 1960s, 1970s style Holiday Inn sign. I love looking at that. And with all the lights were blinking and flashing on it, with the star at the top and the come on in arrow, I love that. That was something I always looked for at a rest area. I was always like, is there a Holiday Inn? There's a Holiday Inn, wow. I'm pretty sure Holiday Inn was started by Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, I'm pretty sure, that chain. All right, so the CVS is on the left side, and they're open, fully open. I see 2 customer cars there. I mean, it looks beautiful. So that's providing the grocery, most of the grocery needs, and then you have 7-Eleven providing the rest of the alcohol and soft drinks and everything else. And yeah, the gasoline price here is not too bad. So I wonder how much their Slurpee prices are. But they charge for air though, so it's not like Wawa with free air. So, large big gulp, $1. It's not too bad. See this, I would love this building here. It's for sale. Lori Albanon, but it's a huge building, and the huge buildings have huge price tags. This would make a great real estate office, but I have to rip out all that vegetation. Basically, lemongrass. See all this? Oh my gosh. I need a dumpster and just it would take about 2 days to rip all that out. All those palm trees. I don't know. I have to rip most of the palm trees out. It's hard to say. The Eureka palms are very resilient, but it comes with a price. So anyway, the south side of the island. Not much else. There's some people waiting for buses. Oh. All right, we're turning around. Right. So again, Santini Plaza still closed. They put that galvalume roof on. But again, more than half of the condos in this area still are under capacity. The real estate offices also, most of them, like there's an office right there, still out of business. This one right here. Straight ahead, that little building there was a little real estate office, and it's still gutted in the inside.
But those little real estate offices like that, they provided the professional services to rent this stuff out. And those buildings, you know, those businesses not flourishing. I mean, granted, there is online, but you need someone to manage the keys. You need somebody to get in the golf cart and, you know, get the maid, the house cleaning ready. You know, make sure the electricity is on. Tidy the place up a bit. Make sure it doesn't smell. and these places are offline here. You could have an online presence. You could have bed and the Airbnb and whatever you're doing, but you need a local person. Now the condos here on the right hand side with this tan aluminum roof, passing by the Wind Resort right now. That right there, those are awesome. For whatever reason, they don't look open. So anyway, here's the Wind Resort. So people are using this as a parking spot. Just sad. It's sad that there could have been renters here even. There could have, they don't talk about it, but I'm pretty sure over 1,000 people died here at Fort Myers Beach. The death toll was somewhere like around 30, but they didn't, the order to evacuate was given like 12 hours before the storm hit. And I'm pretty sure there was a lot of people here that didn't leave because of one thing or the other. That's not enough forewarning, or they just, you know, we were told the storm wouldn't come ashore. It would come right by at night, and it would be up by Tampa by 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock when it starts re-intensifying. We thought it was gonna brush by, maybe have 2 or 3 feet or whatever, but we thought it was far enough out. It was a huge storm, and it was underreported. See, there's a big estuary right there. That is a big. It goes on probably for about 4 condos more, and it's pretty wide. It's just a brackish lake that used to be a. You know, the beach used to come here, but the beach has expanded out south side of the island, and the bulge is biggest right here at Wyndham. So you have to go out like 200 yards to get to the water here. This is where they should make a beach flea market. The flea market on the beach, and just use Wyndham Resort as a parking lot. I think it would work out. I think you would have. Hello. This beach has grown in elevation too. When I was on this beach before the hurricane, this beach was about 3 feet lower than it is right now. So the beach has risen 3 feet in elevation where I'm standing right now. So you can see there's a lot of sand here. We're about 10 feet above that water line over there. So that little estuary, it's holding out, but it's eventually going to get filled in. The sand is like a slow-moving tidal wave. It is pushing that estuary farther and farther south. It will fill it in. But the amazing thing is, I guess there's tractors that come and grade the beach, because all this vegetation should have enveloped this area. I mean, there is a constant wind here all the time, and this sand is reflecting the sunlight. I'm sorry it's taking me so long. I hate wasting all this video going to the beach like that, especially at high tide. When I always come to this beach, it's always windy, and there's windblown sand everywhere. No, I picked the whitest part of the beach for the beach. Sad. So, just imagine having, the sand is like 140 degrees. So if you're walking across the beach here, I remember those summer days when I was a teenager walking across New Jersey beach sand. White sand was 130, 140 degrees. I had to walk, 100 yards to get to the beach. Wow, this sand is the same thing. I'm wearing shoes right now, thank God. But filling up with sand. I can feel the temperature of the sand in my shoes. It's not cold. No, this is 12 noon, probably 120 degrees. But standing above this sand beach, it's like a solar furnace. So you're no longer dealing with this nice 80-degree sea. Now, as I get closer to the sea here, I can feel the 80-degree sea breeze. But in the middle of that sand there, we're talking 110 degrees temperature. You feel like you're in the desert of Las Vegas, walking across that sand beach. Oh, there's mud everywhere. See, this is not going to be pretty here. Well, let's see how far we can go. Oh, it's all mud. Oh, I'm sinking about a foot in. This is no good. Let's see if this sandbank is any better. Oh, great. So the tide is going out a little bit, I can tell. Oh, oh, wow. I wouldn't call this firm. Oh, it's mud. Let's see. It's mud. I can just pick up some speed here. So again, there's 1 to 2 foot surf. The tires are spraying sand back in me, so I know this is mud. This is just fine grade mud. Tires are just caking. If it stays like this, I can go the whole beach. I just don't want to get too much sand or salt water. I drove through a wave there. The problem is you can't see anything on the camera angle here. This is soft sand. Unbelievable. Hold on, I have to X-nay. It's too soft. Alright, so this is mud, but it's soft too. Oh wow, this is really soft up here. Sand. This is above the high tide mark. So my tire is completely full of sand now. It's got a snowball tire. Hello. So that little, whatever that was, sandbar thing went away. Now the problem is there's seashells everywhere. Big ones that pop, push the tire. Oh, it's great. Not good. Oh, now I'm running into mud again. Oh, great. So I have to bicycle up here in the above high tide, super soft sand, right where the waves just touch it. Not that that helps out any bit, but this is not good. We're gonna have to exit from the beach once the beach changes. I see the beach changes about 50 yards ahead of me. I can just hold on. Snowball tires again. Hello. Yeah, it's all mud. It's all mud where the water is, and it's all powder sand right above high tide. And I'm trying to drive right in the middle between the two, and it's still muddy, sandy. It's not good.
Alright, hold on, let me see if the beach environment, this is all mud right here. Really just, Alright, this is firm, but it's wet. But it's firm. So this is not too bad. See, the higher I go, the more muddy it is. I have to go right where these waves are just touching. The weight of the waves is pushing down, forcing the air out, and then the sun heats it and makes it into a hardened layer. So that's what's happening. With every successive wave, it pushes air out and the sun bakes it. See, it's all mud here. Not always. Oh, see, there was a sand dune here or something that is now being washed away by the waves. So it's going to be soft until the sand dune is washed away. So I'm looking at the beach. Really, there's no way to get off the beach until you get down to Publix. Oh, great. Well, let me try going back out here again. This is all mud. So I can feel it's getting a little firmer. Still, it's too soft. It's sinking. The angle of the beach here is a little high. That's not good either. That just means high areas like this are soft, and unfortunately, the firm area is right where the waves are. And here comes a 3-foot wave. That's usually an indication the surf is coming in. When you start seeing it's a 1 to 2 foot surf, but you're seeing a 3-foot wave every 20 yards. That's an indication that the tide's coming in again. And I'm seeing that right now. All right. All right, so now I'm picking up some speed. The angle of the beach flattened out a little bit, so I'm able to pick up some speed, and the beach has more gradual water. So these little humps I'm going over, they're soft. I gotta be careful. Thank you. The girl was smart. She saw me coming. She pulled her youngster with her. Oh, this is soft. Okay, so the beach doesn't stay the same for more than 50 yards. So here's another 3-foot wave coming. I gotta plan my descent. I got to descend into the firmer beach before the 3-foot wave can crash and get to. So bicycling down here right where the surf was. So I gotta watch it when the 3-foot wave comes. But this is where the terra firma is. Yeah, it's definitely 3-foot waves are definitely pushing their way onto the beach higher. It's a beautiful surf though. Right now, there's very little seashells around bicycling, which is making it that much more enjoyable. So you got 3-foot waves every 20 yards. And behind the 3-foot wave, 20 yards, there's another 3-foot wave. And behind that, 20 yards, no. So this is still firm. That's good. But coming up, I can see it's not firm. I have to bicycle when the waves are abating, going down. As I can see, the only firm beach right in this area is right where the waves used to be, because the gradient of the beach is pretty high in this area. I have to try to run the gauntlet. Very soft right now. Oh, It's really wet. Right. So it's a beautiful day. I'm starting to see. Oh, that was not good. Oh no. Oh, great. Not good. My chain just jumped. I hit that. I guess I got a seashell caught in my gear somehow. My chain just jumped out. Oh, it's really. Oh, it wants to bite me. The best way to get one off the fingers is to stick it in the sand, but this ain't working. Great, where's that hanging? Come on, I need some salt water. Let's see if that works. I just passed an inlet too. Terrible. I passed the flowing inlet. Oh, great. I got black fingers now. One more way. Another way to receive it. I got black fingers. I don't know how my chain jumped out like that. That's one reason I want to get rid of this bike. I don't know. If stuff like that happens unexplained, I hate it. Oh, it's second gear. So the chains are. You know what? I didn't spray it with WD-40 this morning. I was too eager. That's probably what went wrong. But my chain was feeling good. I wasn't hearing any noise or anything. It was shifting good. I guess this little bit of sand. I have to make sure I wash my hands somehow. So I don't know. We'll see. There's a little tiny inlet here. I have to try to go this way. Oh, wow. All right. I still have to go another quarter mile to get to an exit point from the beach. They're trying to train the dog. It's a bad day to bring it on because of this high surf. You know, 1 to 2 foot waves with another 3 foot wave every 20 yards. That's not a good day to train the dog. Hello. Well, I thought that was a guy, but there were actually 2 girls. One was wearing a bikini. That I recognized. The other one was wearing what appeared to me a complete surfer outfit, like a boy. Called me old school, maybe old, but I don't know. That was odd, awkward. It's just gorgeous. This water is gorgeous. Looking at the west, I see one little cumulus cloud forming over the Gulf. Now that is an indication that there is some activity approaching. But directly overhead, there are some very high cumulus clouds, almost like they're strato, but they're dropping, they're descending. So that's descending air, which normally would be high pressure, but it's laden with moisture, so that's another oddity. Which means that usually a cold front would do that. It's kind of late in the year for a cold front, but if it is a cold front, it would bring significant rain. That's what it would look like. Cold air descending over extremely humid air would cause clouds, and the clouds would start descending. be like a temperature inversion front, where the cold air, a big cold front, is encountering an extreme massive amount of warm air. And that's what, see, now the clouds are getting so thick that they kind of blocked out the sun. So this is the best time to go on the beach without sunblock. Still a lot of open space though. I'm looking at Estero Boulevard, and still a lot of vantage points when you're driving your car. You can see the beach, the water, which is nice. Again, before 1983, that was possible. After that, the amount of building and vegetation blocked all view. You could only hear the water. And by like 1989, you could almost not even hear the Gulf anymore, driving by with your windows open. But now you can hear and see. I would say another year from now though, there's still too much salt in the soil, but for those people that have a sprinkler system and they bring in their plants and turn their sprinkler systems on maximum, you'll get vegetation to regrow here. It's going to take the salt about 5 to 7 years, so still got at least until 2029 before vegetation grows on its own here. It needs mankind's assistance. So I could see that the tide is going out a little bit. All this sand is all wet, and I can see that the wet sand goes way up there. So this sand that I'm on is hardening, which is a good thing, which is making it easy for me to pedal, and there's no seashells here. So as long as the beach stays like this, which it won't, but if it did stay like this, then it would be nice pedaling. The tires have de-snowballed, so it's like de-icing. They de-snowballed. My fingers still have tons of black stuff on it. I think this next inlet, I'm going to stop for a second. This little escape channel, it's got flowing water and a significant amount. And this looks like the last one before a big waves. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, nice and warm. Nice and warm water. Yeah, it's coming on. This warm water with some sand. It's making my whole life. You have to grind the sand in your hand underwater. And these loose seashells, the ones that are scraping your hand and getting that oil off. This reminds me, I have to spray degreaser all over my bike in big quantities to get this extra oil gunk off. Well, I got a lot of it off, but not all of it. Alright, coming up is a lot of seaweed. This is not a good sign. The seaweed hides sharp seashells in it. You gotta be careful. Now the seaweed is being spread out a little bit, so that's an indication that, one, there's a lot of seaweed offshore, which I can see. Two, the tide is starting to go out. There's a lot of seaweed offshore here. But that's a good thing because seaweed actually builds dunes on the beach. Provides habitat for and food for a lot of the birds, and it does do sand erosion protection too. I see a lot of seaweed wanting to come on shore, and there was a 3-foot wave that went right through all that seaweed floating offshore. Another one right behind, another 3-foot wave. This looks like if you want to do surfing, this is the area right here near we're very close to the Publix, and it looks like there's a little cove here, and it's magnifying some of the waves. So if you want to do light body surfing, this is where you come on Fort Myers Beach, because this is, I see these 3-foot waves. Some of them are approaching 3.5 feet. So you can do a little body surfing inshore, or even a little like kneeboarding. It would be awesome in this area. So that's an interesting tidbit to know. Oh look, here's a little inlet. Anyway, this is soft sand here. So the sand is firming up a little bit, which is good. And the clouds are thickening a little bit. So something's approaching. But humidity is not going down, so there's something still to come. Oh, wait a minute. This is a lot of seaweed here. Oh, I'm running the gauntlet. Oh my gosh. A rod. These birds are playing with me. I don't want to get too much water on my bike because the salt water rusts the spokes and it gets in the tires. I don't know how, but it gets in not just the tires but the inner tubes. I don't know how it does that. And then getting this heavy water-laden tubes, tires in my car and have that splash around. Here's a bigger inlet. The interesting thing is going counter flow. Hold on, I gotta flow through it. Terrible. That cleaned my tire for a second. Now it's caking again. All right. So this beach right here is really nice. This is like what they would make the cream concrete out of. And it is like the finest sand, but because of the bigger wave action here, it's been pounded like concrete, and it's setting like concrete. It's setting nice and hard. Yeah. So we're right up to where Publix is. There's always a big occurrence of seashells right around where Publix is. Oh, I just saw an olive. This is interesting. Hello. I saw an olive shell at a corner. An olive shell at a corner of my. Oh, here it is. Here, you can have it. This is. It's an olive.
Oh, thank you. I don't see too many of them.
Here's a nice conch shell. You might want to pick it up. That's a nice one there.
Yeah.
And then
There's
here's
some nice ones that washed up.
anywhere where you see color on the beach. Like here's a nice. That's a nice
Oh, yeah.
one there too.
Yeah, there's another one.
And then here's what's called a tulip.
Yep, I got it. Thank you. Yeah,
Oh, here's another one.
Nice,
That's another olive shell. And here's a worm shell. Awesome.
beautiful.
Right in this area. Look,
Yeah, I know.
here's a little fighting conch. I'm telling you, there's no more shelling that way. This is it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's some down, yeah, I came from that way. There's
Oh, okay.
good patches. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Welcome. This is the big conch I was talking about. So it's a big one. She didn't want it though. A little imperfections there, but if you're making a shell vase, that's still fair game. So all of these shell outcroppings. I just drove over another olive shell. Olive shells make great pendants. In the late 60s, early 70s, there was a big thing for shark's teeth and seashell pendants. It's kind of died down, but people still go for shark's teeth, but they rarely go for seashell pendants anymore. But olive shells make the best because they're naturally polished. You don't need to shellac them at all. Even when they're dry, they have a natural sheen about them. We're passing Publix right now. So, Well, that was interesting. This pile of seashells I'm looking down, oh, it's laden with good shells. So again, right in front of Publix, the good shells. It's very interesting. Passing more olive shells. The person in front of me looks like she is seashelling. I can't even say it. This is it though. You don't have to go any farther. Now where the waves are, there's good seashells too. I see there's a sandbar about 30 yards offshore. Whoa. Oh, soft sand. Good. Interesting. I see that there's an exit point right there. I could have taken that, but it's getting nice now. So, let's see. It's sad the sun went away. The tide is going out a little bit. You got some flows though going on, but for the most part it's ebbing. And I would know if my tire pops because I would hear a big kapow. And it would go flat instantly, and there would be no more bicycling. I'd be walking, and the video would end. The video would end in disgust. I never had that happen during a video, but I had that happen after I took the video. I was bicycling, all of a sudden, bam! And luckily, I've never had it. I mean, I bicycled once with video all the way down to Land's End, Captiva. 72 miles, and that's taking a big risk walking 72 miles back home, but I'm just fortunate that you inspect your bike beforehand. Sometimes I do it too quick. I inspect it as I'm loading it, check the tires, look for wear very fast, check the pedals, put all the fluids in my car, like the degreaser, WD-40. I put all those in my car. I usually give my bicycle a once over before I start riding. This morning I didn't do it. I don't know why. I'll do it on the way. Well, I don't want to put that stuff in my car, so I'll probably do it when I get home. Hello. Everyone's friendly today. Again, when people look at you and they smile, you have to smile back. The next thing you say is hello. Right hand side is all this open space. This is the old Tiki Hotel. People are parking on the side streets for free, or they're residents and they walk their way to the beach. Sanibel, you can still see it. The sun would set over the island there. Good view. And you can see the lighthouse. There is some haze though, so it's not as clear as it could be. So there's definitely humidity. If there was no humidity, you could see sometimes in Bob Witch Point, I could look at the Sanibel and I could see people on the beach, how clear it is. That's 5 miles. I could see perfectly clear what people are wearing, who they are on the beach, 5 miles. But that's when there's like very little humidity, like 20% or less. Okay, I'm looking down towards the beach. I see a conglomeration of people. It looks like they start in front of Diamond Head. Before Diamond Head is like almost nobody. It's a big wave. I still see like that there was a 3-foot wave. So I don't know where these 3-foot waves are coming from, but they're pretty impressive. Could mean there's a front coming. And that's a myth. There's no like big boats out there in the Gulf that are creating big 3-foot waves. You would have to have like an aircraft carrier, not just one, like a whole squadron going at full flank, like 30 knots, one successfully after another, close to shore, maybe within 10 miles, to create waves big like that. These are natural. These are caused by the wind and currents. I know there's no super aircraft carrier or super tanker out there going at flank speed. So here, the beach is a little lower, probably because they scraped it. And for some reason, I am sweating like a Dickens out. I guess the sun is making more of a presence through the clouds. See my shadow. If I'm a groundhog, I would go inside, lie in the. I got 75 degrees inside. My ice box is full. My drinks are plenty, and my ice is ready, and my glass is chilled. And that's I'd be sipping that really slow. First time I take a shower though. A nice cold shower. Oh wow. A nice cold 7-minute shower. I don't mind. Sometimes you have to splurge on yourself. And a shower in Florida, you have to have a nice shower, standing shower. Bath won't do. If you want a bath, you jump in the Gulf of Mexico. You need a shower. Shower is what gets the stuff off you. Look, here's Beach Patrol. How annoying. Not only are they annoying, they're dressed in full like military gear. They want to give you a ticket. That's a waste of taxpayer money. They're driving. There's a law that says no gasoline-powered vehicles on the beach. So the Beach Patrol drives gasoline powers on the beach. Criminals. They think they're above the law. Why make a law then? Lots of seaweed there. Right. I'm sweating so much my nose is running. I think all that water I drank earlier today. I got some salt. Maybe this seaweed has got some kind of rotting like bacteria or something that's getting in my hands. I washed them. Now I'm getting in my nose, and now I got a runny nose. Terrible. As far as the eye can see, there's seaweed everywhere. But the seaweed is spread out, which is indication the tide's going out. Otherwise, the seaweed would be bunched up. The tide was coming in. But I can see there's plenty of seaweed offshore here. We're coming into an area with even more seaweed. The seaweed is preventing some of these waves from reaching their full potential. It's causing wave breaks. Alright, so now the cloud's thickened up again. So whatever's coming this way is having a battle with the sun. And, I actually want that because the sun was causing me to sweat galore. Alright, so we passed the radio tower, which means we're at Junkaroo. Yeah, I see Junkaroo and Fresh Catch right here. That's good. And we're not going to go back on the street because we already went down the street. So we're just going to take a fast beeline to, we always ended at the tiki bar, so we'll go back to the tiki. I just don't know why they don't fix Fresh Catch. It's got enough going for it that, you know, if you get a restaurant going in there, obviously you need to get the elevator going. You have to build a nice ramp in lieu of the elevator, but it's got the parking. It's got the view of the beach. I guess there's more to it than that. You won't find a better location. The owner should do whatever he can do. He should lease that out and get someone to do all the leasehold improvements for him. Get it up to snuff. Deal with the local, permitting, whatever, and get that thing square. And then you can start jacking up the rent every so often. And while he's doing that, the property's value is skyrocketing. Now, if I had an extra $10 million, I wouldn't pay $10 million for that thing, but for $2 million, I would. $2 million, I'd stick an extra $1 million into it, and then I would create my own restaurant and get it going. It would be a hit instantly, because people are looking for places to park, eat, and see the water at the same time, and they want to be able to walk on the beach after they eat. I mean, usually in the evening, which at that point, who cares? Nobody, if they just want to go for a half-hour stroll on the beach after they eat, after they pay $100 for a meal, they should be entitled to that. Some people don't want to go for that walk on the beach. They want the $100 meal and a drink and eat $100 worth of wine and cordials and dessert afterwards. It's fine with me. I'll get them for $3 and sell them for $100. You get 75 tables doing that, making $10,000 a day for an evening, and I'll be open for lunch too. Why not? So that would be, you would have to make somewhere between $15,000 to $20,000 a day at a restaurant to really pull its weight. At the little tiny hot dog stand I owned, Lighthouse Sandwich Shop, I was making $30,000 a month, which is sad. Of course, I was back in '89. Now, in today's dollars, I may have been making $60,000 a month. Still, you should be making $30,000 a day. So times 30, you should make $900,000 a month. And that would fend off a lot of the BS that's going on with the local government permitting and fire marshal BS and all this other government BS that should not even be allowed. It should be illegal. I should be able to call up a federal marshal, have them arrest the entire fire and government, local government. Just arrest them all. They're inhibiting my interstate commerce. I should be able to arrest them for that. Anyway. That's kind of like the government racketeering. You have the fire marshal sticking his hand out for a grease, and the local politicians, they stick their hand out for a payback, and they want you to contribute their re-election. It's so criminal. Anyway, here's a pontoon boat doing flank speed. Must be doing about 25 knots, creating a big draft. Looks like they got at least 2, if not 3 outboards. And they're plowing through the water. And you can see there's a lot of seaweed. So anyway, see diamond heads coming up. We're gonna get back into civilization pretty soon. The tide is going out, I can tell. So it's leaving me a nice beach to bicycle on. Get a little. Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna bypass you. Thank you. It's all right. There's a speedboat out there doing at least 30 knots. Just went by. It's about 150 yards offshore. I guess it's legal at that distance to go full speed. I don't really take it. There's no real need to come to Fort Myers Beach and go that fast offshore. I don't know. Unless you're in some kind of a race and there's $1 million at stake. I don't know. Never had that happen. So this beach right now is gorgeous. The beach is receding. There's some waves that are still attacking my tires, but it's alright. So we're passing by the Nautilus. There's a diamond head coming out. I don't see anybody parking illegally at the Nautilus. The beach here is huge. So the beach is definitely growing here. I can see the flag ahead. It's blowing at about 20 knots coming off onshore wind. So I'm just glad it's not a headwind because I'm barely hearing any type of wind coming directly at me. But it is a nice breeze, making it like a sail. So it's definitely blowing those waves onshore. There's the Florida flag too, flying. The American flag is to the right of that Florida flag. I don't like that seal of the American flag, but if they put a star in the middle, it would be better for the Florida flag. I don't like that seal, Great Seal of Florida. It's kind of silly. Kind of silly to be on a flag. What happens, when one girl wins, the other girl loses steam. The beach right now is awesome. So this is the bulge that's in front of Diamond Head. The beach always bulges for whatever reason. This is a natural bulge. It wasn't like artificially done. The beach is awesome right now. You can tell how the people they had their little beach sites at high tide, so they're far away from the water now. That's what happens. Subliminally he thought it was open, but it wasn't. I can see why he was going in that direction too. A bunch of girls out there in bikinis. He was running in that direction. I don't know why. I think that girl he was with was alright. So, yeah, we're back in civilization. Still not that crowded. I see a lot of people walking, probably due to the cloud cover. So the south side of Fort Myers Beach is still sunny. Just the north side here has got clouds. Some people come for the waves, some people come for the social interaction. These people are more social. So they don't just want the waves, which I don't think the waves are that good in this area. They want the social interaction. Whereas the people on the south side, they want the privacy. They're coming for the waves and the privacy. People up here, they're coming for seeing other people. If you're a family, it's hard to say. Safety in numbers. There's people here, medical and everything else. But then again, I don't know if I trust all these people. I'd rather park in a safe area down South Fort Myers Beach and enjoy the privacy. I think I would prefer privacy than people. Of course, for this video goes better with people, so it's better to have people. That's what people want to see, though. On social media, they want to see other people. So all those flags are flying, and they're flying about 20 knots. There's a little bulge forming here in front of Lanakai. There's the ice cream truck. That was a odd couple. Still sweaty profusely. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of seaweed in this area. Oh, amazing, another bicyclist. Without electric. Hello. So anyway, here's Margaritaville. And the pool is awesome. Since we already drove by it, we're not going to drive by it again. It's gorgeous. So again, the people are hanging out by the pool because that's where the drinks are. That's where the nice pool is. That's where the music is. That's where the little fountains and waterfalls are. The pool mates are serving up drinks in the pool too. Definitely, this is the heart of Fort Myers Beach at the moment. Yeah, why stop at one? I don't like tattoos though. I have a problem with that. Sorry. Definitely it's mid-tide right now. It's not even low tide. So these sand dunes are breaking down and they're adding sand to the beach here, so they're expanding the beach. The dunes are going away, but the beach is expanding because of them. And you ask yourself, what happened to the dunes? Well, they got compressed. So they've pushed the beach out about 10 feet, and they've added about 6 inches more on average height to the beach, but they're gone. This beach has a very high and it's wearing away. It's really soft sand here. But in the same token, if you're a little kid, this is great sandcastle area, and the water is so close by and deep. So and there's a sandbar about 10 yards offshore here, and a little longshore current that looks like a lazy river. So if you have like an inner tube, this is a great place to go tubing, right next to shore. Alright, so we got out of that tricky area. Now this beach is back to a nice beach, but we're going to bail coming up. Go too much farther. We're running out of people in the video. Looks like this is a good place to bail. Let's see. Is it fenced in? It's not fenced in. Good. This is a place to bail. It's got a little fence. We're gonna bail. Alright, so my shoes are full of sand. That was a nice like 16 miles. There's a frisbee over here. Oh, man. Proper etiquette though on the beach is if you see something that looks at a place like a frisbee like that, that's someone's frisbee. Just leave it there, because the worst thing that could happen, just think if that was like a 10-year-old girl's frisbee, she threw it, but someone, her mother or father called her and they said you could pick it up later. To pick up someone's frisbee like that, it would break their heart, you know. So if you see something lying there, just let it lie there. It's not yours, so don't pick it up. Unless you know who owns it, you're gonna hand it to them right then and there. Just leave it there, because the person who lost it knows where to find you. That goes with everything. Umbrellas, towels. Well, money's a different story, because money, it's hard to, there's a lot of that, and you want to put that in your pocket as fast as you can find it, but that's the only exception, money. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll go to the tiki lounge, what do we call it? Tiki bar, I guess that's what. It's only where it ended. On the road here. I saw a lot of nails here. I picked up a nail in my tire the other day. That's why I had to replace my tire yesterday. I ended up having to replace two. And they had to sell me two new ones, of course, because they didn't have quality used ones. And the new ones were, you know, the subpar new ones. So it's like, let's put it this way, I had to pay $150 cash. And it's a no return deal, you know. No warranty, no return. They're riding okay, but you know, a tire is only as good as you know the Z rating. And these Florida roads are 130 plus temperature. You need the highest Z factor you can get. So don't settle with 110s. If you can get 140s, get them, because these roads, especially asphalt, is extremely hot. I mean, even concrete's hot, but asphalt is even hotter. Right now, it's not hot, and when it rains, obviously it's not that hot. But when it's hot, and those highways are extremely hot. If you get a regular tire, you have to replace every 2 years here in Florida. So it's not that busy here. Not that busy. You used to be able to make a left-hand turn there, and I don't know why they stopped it, but it was very convenient to get to this side. Now you can't do that. You have to make an annoying circle. Yeah, let's bicycle over here. Check it out. Alright. This is fun. Of course, I knew this was coming up here. Terrible. Now I'm going to force these people off the sidewalk. Terrible. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next week, I'm trying to do an out-of-area video, but until that happens, gasoline's got to be less than $3 a gallon. So, that's how it happens. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again next week.